Hello everyone, I am joined by my lovely mummy for a makeup tutorial for you today. It's coming up to Mother's Day, so my mum hates being in front of the camera, and I said, will you let me do your makeup please? And she's like, oh, I don't like it. I was like, it's Mother's Day, let's spend some time together. So I've roped her in to doing blackmail, to doing a little bit of makeup on her. My mum is very, very beautiful anyway, so she doesn't need much. And I was going to do a kind of Jane Fonda-esque makeup on my mum, although she's had quite a lot of work done and my mother hasn't. And she's quite a bit older than you. Yeah. But actually, my mum doesn't need much makeup. She's very beautiful as it is, and I don't want to put tons of makeup on her and her not feel comfortable as well. So I'm going to do a really, really pretty makeup that just enhances my mum's natural beauty. Now, if you do want one that is a little bit more makeup for mature skin, I can drag her back in and put a bit more on her. But I'm conscious my mum has quite sensitive eyes, so I don't want to do too much today. I hope you enjoy. Right, Mumsy, okay. Let's pin your hair back first. Okay. What do you use at the moment? Sorry, let me go.
In what respect?
What products do you use at the moment? What do you use on your skin?
I really alternate.
This is where I get the massive, copious amounts of hair from. I can't even pin it back. There's so much there. What do you use foundation-wise?
Don't really wear it, Nick.
This is it. She doesn't even wear foundation.
Yeah, I've always quite liked the Estee Lauder.
Oh, it's nice like that, Mum. You like the Estee Lauder?
Very, the one that changes colour.
Day wear tint.
Yeah, the tint, as opposed to foundation.
Yeah. Have you got anything on your skin at the moment? Have you got moisturiser on?
Yeah, I did earlier on.
It feels a bit dehydrated, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of Augustinus Bader moisturiser. This is a rich moisturiser. It's very expensive, but it's lovely. And as it's a treat, I'm going to use my expensive moisturiser on you, Mother. Is it Augustinus Bader? I'm going to use a brush to do that. You don't have to use a brush. I'm just using it just because you will like this moisturiser, and you'll probably try to pilfer it out of my room. Is that a word, pilfer?
Yeah. Steal.
Yeah, is that it? So I'm just going to buff that into the skin. Really important that you're hydrating the skin to start off with before you put your makeup on. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a light makeup, whatever, you need to, look, I have to duck, this is squat practice. You need to make sure that you have hydrated skin. Makeup's going to sit better on it. Your skin's going to look better. All round, just better. If you're worried about fine lines and maturing skin, if you don't moisturise your skin before, that product that you're going to put on is just going to take every bit of moisture out of your skin even more so. So it's going to be putting a product onto a dry skin that's just going to cake into the skin. So by putting a moisturiser on, you're plumping it out to start off with. Now, my mum doesn't like too much coverage, so I'm going to put a light foundation on, and in any areas that need a bit more coverage, I will do that with concealer, so she doesn't feel like she's got a heavy amount of makeup on. Now, you like the Estee Lauder Day Wear Tint. I got her into that years ago. It's also one of my favourites. If you go on holiday, it's beautiful because it develops with your tan, and it's got an SPF in. And I have got this Trinny London Best Friend Forever Cream in, I'm hoping that BFF stands for Best Friend Forever Cream. It's a skin perfector with an SPF 30, and the colour is medium.
It's probably a technical term.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's Best Friend Forever, surely.
I like that best.
So I'm going to pop that onto your skin. I'm actually going to use my hands for this one, and then I might buff it in with a brush. This is exactly the same sort of texture as you like and finish as you like from your Estee Lauder one. It's quite scented, but it smells absolutely lovely. Look, I can already see it's working into the skin really nicely.
Do you know sort of price range?
This one is £35. So I don't think that's terrible for a foundation. It's not cheap, but it's nice and light, and it's not a ridiculous price. It's got a lovely glow to it.
It really has, actually.
Yeah, you don't look like you've got much on. Yeah, I know you're probably liking it because it's giving you a bit of glow, but I would have to bring that down the neck a little bit. You might be a mixture of the light and the medium. We're kind of between. It's quite wintry at the moment.
Yeah,
this
might
might
be
be a summer one.
Yeah,
it is lovely though.
Real nice glow actually, Nick.
And it smells lovely, doesn't it? Doesn't smell too fragrant, does it?
No, it's nice. And yeah, I'd say if I did. I thought otherwise. But
you can have that one, Mum. Actually, I'll give you the light one too, because I have both.
Yeah, it does make your face look
dewy, beautiful.
Yeah, and that's really
Plum.
good, isn't it? Because
Who
you don't
doesn't want that?
Yeah.
And a little goes a very long way, I have to say.
I'm really bad at applying stuff as well. It just seems to go blotchy and.
You know, this you can't go wrong with, which is
but
probably
this is
why
good.
you like this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously brushes make a difference if you are... I'm just going to take this down the neck.
Because the thing is, I do find, I don't very often wear foundation. I do find that it just sits in creases.
Yeah, that's right.
well.
And I think, you know, as we do mature, we're going to get more lines and creases. It's the privilege of ageing, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
But,
yeah.
you know, it's we're very lucky to get that in a way. But it's how you disguise them as such by using something that's radiant and not too matte. It's not going to sit in the lines. And, you know, there's a reason that people use highlighter and stuff, and that's to reflect light. So if you've got something that's really light reflecting, it's going to push away, so it's going to reflect off it. When the light hits it, it bounces back and it creates an illusion of smoothness. So it does help. But this is very nice on the décolletage as well.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
You look like you've been away. So I use the setting brush just to do the moisturiser, and then I'm taking, these are Real Techniques brushes, and then I'm taking the foundation blender just to buff that down the neck, because my mum's got a nice low top on, so we want to make sure that that all flows through.
Very nice. You could wear a roll neck.
You could do, and then you wouldn't have to blend anything. I'm going to stick with the Trinny stuff because I think, for a little while anyway, until we move on to eyes, because I think this is where my mum would be most comfortable. Now, Trinny has done a really good job of making everything, by the way, this isn't a sponsored video for Trinny, I just think my mum would really like these products. She's made it so that each thing clips together and you can take it with you. I personally prefer to use brushes, but some things you do want to use your fingers with. This is, you've got your concealers there. I've put 2 concealers in for you. Oh, right. You've got, on the bottom it has a little picture so you can see what this is. So it's got a little picture of a face, so you know that it can be used all over the face. And then on these ones, they have a picture of the lip. So you know this one's face as well. Lip, so you know that that's for the lip, and this bottom one's for the lip. So I am going to take, I wasn't sure which colour you'd be until I was doing your makeup, so that's why I've picked up a few. This colour is Amelia. So I'm going to take that on my finger. If you look right up for me, and I'm just going to work that under the eye. That's nice. Now my mum naturally has quite light under eyes. Do you use something to make them light, or is that just natural?
Do you use anything?
Do you wear sunglasses a lot?
In the summer, yeah.
Yeah, because you haven't got any, like, mine are very blue underneath. You don't have that. Yours are very, very clear, your under eyes. So I can go a tiny bit, you know, it doesn't really matter what colour I use. She doesn't have a problem with darkness. So I'm just going to use my finger to really work that under the eyes. Have a look in the mirror. See that? It's lifted it instantly. It's so beautiful. This one is Amelia. Should we have a little look at one of the other colours? So, no, really it's going to be too light for you, I can see now. And yes, that might be nice as well. That's a little bit pinker. So the one that we've chosen has a slightly more yellow undertone. This one's slightly pinker. Let's see what the pinker one's like for you. Oh, I think I personally prefer the slightly pinker one. I'm mostly keeping the product in the very corner of the eyes. I don't want to put too much around here because too much product here is only going to accentuate the lines.
What lines?
Fine lines, Mother. Laughter lines, because you're so happy to have me as your daughter.
Yeah, I'll be guided by you.
I think that yes, which is this side, is a tiny bit better. Just buffing that in, so I'm going to put that the other side as well. Yeah, you do need a little bit of concealer around your nose and a little bit in some other areas that just have a little bit more redness. But I don't want to use that concealer. The Trinny one is quite light reflecting. I want one that's going to stay put a little bit more. That's going to have a lovely glow to it. Probably won't move too much because you don't have too much movement under here. If I was to put it here, then it would crease a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have too much movement under here, so it's perfect for there because it reflects the light. But I want something that's going to have a little bit more longevity around the other areas of the face. So let me get another concealer. I'm going to use this Armani. This is Power Fabric in 4.5. Hopefully it'll be the right shade. I'm just going to take a little bit of that around the nose. This has a little bit more staying powder. It sets a bit matter. It goes on beautifully creamy, but it's just going to have a little bit more longevity for us. So I'm just taking that into the areas that I feel we need a tiny bit more coverage. So rather than using a heavy foundation all over, we are using a lighter foundation and slightly more concealer. So I'm just taking my setting brush again. This is one of my must-have brushes from Real Techniques, and just buffing that in. And with the product that's underneath, it should blend really, really nicely and just disappear, but give us a little bit of coverage. And what's left on the brush, I'm leaving it to sweep over the cheeks a tiny bit. Look in that mirror, it's not too scary so far, is it?
No. The nice thing about it is it still looks like you haven't got any makeup on.
Which is what we want. But to look a better version of ourselves, or something, not a better version, but so we feel better. I'm going to take a little bit of Lily on a 307 shading brush, and I just want to run that through the brow bone. Now, as we get older, we naturally get a little bit of a redness to our brow bone. Don't know why, just sometimes gets a little bit red. Can you see the difference? Tiny bit redder on that side. And I just want to mute that out before I do your brows. So we've done the first steps of the makeup. Now come the bits that will actually change you a little bit more and make you feel hopefully more radiant, more done up, more, I don't know.
Confident. It makes you feel more confident.
Yeah,
perhaps,
that's a good one, Mum. I want to do your brows. It sounds so doom and gloom. As we get older, we get less brows.
Yeah.
It's just natural. Things thin out. So we're going to plump the brows. Plumper brows make you look younger.
They do.
If you want to look younger. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to look like the best version of themselves. So I have got a lovely brow pencil.
So bizarre.
I don't know whether to use a nice shadow brow or a pencil. I'm going to use pencil because my mum will be able to recreate that. If I get shadows and brushes, you'll be...
Oh, I don't know if I'm not very... Well,
You'll
I'll have a go.
You'll have... Now this is a brow pencil by Uemura, and it's in the formula hard number 9. The colour is seal brown. Hard means that the pencil is really, really hard to use. It's really, really not hard to use, but it's really, really hard when it goes on. Right. That means it's not going to wax away so much. Some pencils are really, really waxy, and if you scratch your brow, if you move, if you sweat, if you have a hot flush, your brow's going to move. This isn't going to. So this is a little bit firmer, and it's a great colour because it's got no warmth to it. Now I definitely don't want to use on my mum who is blonde, I definitely don't want to use a pencil that has too much red in it. It's going to look like you've got orange eyebrows and won't look natural at all. That's why I love this colour and this texture. And I'm following your natural brow, but I will make it a tiny bit fuller. So I'm just going a little bit fuller where there's a few spaces under the brow, a little bit fuller coming out of the back of the brow. I don't want you to look like you've got stenciled on brows in any way, but I just want them to be a tiny bit fuller. In a minute I'm going to do a little trick that I don't expect anyone to do at home, unless you have time. But you can see how much fuller that looks already.
Oh yeah.
Makes a difference. Really subtle differences. I am going to take...
Which one is that then? That?
No, this one.
Quite nice because it's not very dark.
No, because you can't go wrong with it. Well, you can't go wrong with it. I'm going to take this. I
don't believe that.
Which is a Stilla. This is a brow pen. You would never do this, Mum. But I'm doing it because I think it will look amazing on you. I'm going to take this colour first. This is Stilla. This is called a Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Colour. This is in dark. You'll really struggle if you do this. So all I'm gonna do is do little tiny weeny lines like that. It's gonna mimic brow hairs. So it will just go under your brow where there aren't any hairs. This is a great trick for people that may have lost their brows. Can you see you can hardly see them, and that's what I want. I don't want you to be able to see it. It's just to create a naturally looking brow. Look in the mirror. See how it adds texture, but doesn't look thing. I'm going to get this close up because I don't need to be in this video, you do. So you can see I've just drawn on little fake brows hairs just to mimic real hair. Now I don't expect people to do that, but I just wanted to show you it. If you're feeling creative and you want to have a go at it, then go for it. I can see my mum's skin, especially in the camera, will look really, really shiny at the moment. That's fine. I don't want to powder it yet because I want the makeup to settle into the skin and find its own way. I will powder it at the end when it's all done and it's exactly as I want it to seal it into place, not before then. So if you stay looking at the camera, Mum, I can move around you. So again, in with my Uemura brow pencil in hard number 9, seal brown. Number 9 is the colour, I think. Hard is the formula. You have no tail to your brows at all, do you?
No.
That's where I get it from. I have no tail until I have mine microbladed. Would you have yours microbladed?
That's one thing that I probably would do.
Honestly, Mum, it's so fantastic.
Yeah. But it'd have to be somebody who was local. I would, you know.
Oh, I could drive you to someone. I think the thing is, if you just put pencil on, you don't get the texture. And makeup is all about textures, about having the different textures. Do you know what I mean? If you put it all on and it's just so flat, then you don't get the beautiful textures of the skin. So I put the brow hairs in so it mimics real texture. I don't expect people to do this, but if you're getting married or something,
yeah,
you just
for
want a little bit more.
You've got time to do it.
Yeah. Now, Trinny does do some eyeshadows, but my mum has quite dry skin and quite oily lids, so I don't want to use one of those on because I think it will break down a little bit. So I have got this Charlotte Tilbury in the colour Chameleon eyeshadow. It says a dark pearl for brown eyes, and I'm just going to take that along your lid. Actually, let me just go in with a tiny touch of this concealer first. Back in with my... I just want to take that in here. So we get rid of a little bit of the darkness there. Not that it's not darkness that you have, but I just like to even it out. Yeah. So I'm going to take a 210 Expert Concealer brush and just buff that in there. So it's just straight away lifting the inner corner of the eye. I'm very sorry this is going to be a very long video, but I want it to be for the education because I don't want to just put makeup on and not explain why or how or product placement. I want to do a video that you can take away and be like, oh, I can go back to that and I understand it a bit more. Do they feel okay, your eyes? Good. Because I know my mum gets quite sore eyes. Right, just open for me. Lovely. And close. I'm going to run that along the lid. This is a cream eyeshadow, but it will set onto the lid. So I'm just running that along the eyelid. And then I'm going to take a shading brush and just buff that along and upwards. You do have to work reasonably fast with these products because they do set. Just open for me again. That's such a nice colour on you. I just want to lift it a little bit. So I'm going to take the same eyeshadow, but I'm going to put it on the brush this time because I only want a soft dusting of it. So I'm just taking a little bit of it, just rubbing it onto the brush. If you just close for me, and I'm just going to place that and just over the mobile lid. And by mobile lid, it's the bit that moves when you blink. It's the mobile bit.
It is all about the application, isn't it? I mean, you can have all the best products, but if you don't apply it properly...
Yeah, and it's about doing little layers and building. People try to put so much on all at once and it won't last long because you're not building it onto the skin. It needs to adhere to the skin like sandwiched on. Just changing the brush for a little bit more of a buffing brush so I can really buff this in and make it look seamless. I want to bring it out a little bit higher because otherwise we won't see much of it when the eye is open. Lifting up at the corner a little bit so that we're not dropping the eye. Right, we need a bit of liner now. Now normally on my mum I go for this colour which is called Prunella. It's a really great colour for my mum. It's got a lovely purpleness to it so it really brings out the blue eyes. I've used it in a few videos on you. I have done a few others. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one by MAC which is called Coffee. And I'm just going to run that along the lash line. And what this is going to do is give the lashes a little bit more depth. Just open for me so I can have a look at that. That's so nice on you. And just close. I don't want this to be too thick. I just want it really close to the lashes. Just open again. So it's just adding us a little bit more depth to the lashes without it looking like you've got tons of makeup on. And close for me. Just going to wing that up a tiny bit into the corner of the eye. Again, lifting, so we're lifting the eye a little bit. And then going back in with that shading brush to soften it, building again, layering. Just open for me. That's so nice on you. I would put a little bit of the dark just on the top lash line as well, so it really emphasises it inside the eye and the waterline. But I don't think my mum's eyes will cope with that. You don't. You get sore eyes, don't you? So just look at me so I can see that. It's really nice on you. Okay, let's do the other side. If you just close for me. So I'm just going to go in with the pencil. Just softly buff that in. How does the skin feel? Do you feel like you've got a lot?
No, I don't. It feels nice. I don't feel like I've got
a lot of makeup on. Well, you haven't really.
No.
It's just more in certain places that we need it. Just look down in that way for me. Lovely. Liner is your friend, and it doesn't have to be done boldly or harshly. It can just be really nicely buffed in. Just to frame the eyes a little bit. Feel okay?
Yeah.
Your eyes going to water?
Did you see me make a funny movement there with my eyes?
She's going to worry
no.
about her eyes.
Yeah.
Just look up for me. I'm going to get my mum to do her own mascara. I'll hold it up for you. So that I'm not affecting her eyes because you've got watery eyes. Do you like that mascara?
Very nice.
That's because you use mascara that's like run out and dry, and who would think that your daughter's a makeup artist?
I know, it's ridiculous. Normally, now that is me putting on a lot of mascara.
Yeah, you want more? Come on, more.
That is a lot.
No,
I normally just put one stroke on.
That's not a lot. No wonder your mascara lasts forever and dries out.
It does. Yeah.
That's
and
lovely.
then I think I've had it a long time, better throw it away.
And the other side. Do you not swap hands?
Oh no, I can put it on with my left hand, can't I? You, just because you're
ambidextrous.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I've never looked at someone else putting the mascara on.
Is that enough?
No, come on.
Seriously. Well, I won't be able to open and be so heavy.
Take this brush and put some bronzer on you. So this is my favourite bronzer, which is Chanel Bronze Universal. If you watch my videos, I use it in every video. It is just so beautiful if someone has a slightly drier skin and they want a really radiant glow. Gives a lovely bronze without looking like you've got it. Now, I definitely would never contour you because contouring is just going to suck in and age. You know,
I've already got that without doing it.
You look amazing, Mum. So I've got this palette which is Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Cheap Sculpt. I can't say it. Cheeks. Cheeks. Definitely.
I have it. Cheap.
Definitely not cheap. It's got 2 different colours in there. It's quite new. I thought I'd give it a try. I'm not giving it to you. Try it on you. Give it to you. I'm going to take a little bit of this highlighter and just push it with a finger over the top of the cheekbone. No, I don't like it as much as Hush. I'm going in with my Hush Cream Colour Base, which is my favourite highlighter. Tried something different. It's not as good. This is MAC Hush Cream Colour Base. It is just the most special highlighter. Again, I haven't powdered yet. I'm going to do that right at the end. So I've just put a little bit of highlighter there. Okay, I'm going to take this cream blusher, which is, I don't know how you say this, but Le Metier de Beauty, which is French, and I'm obviously not fluent in French, but it's in Ginger Lily. And I'm going to take that on my, oh, it's a really pretty little colour. I'm going to take that on my setting brush again. No point in dirtying more brushes. It's a really nice kind of, I like them when they look quite tacky because I know they're going to go on and make the skin look really beautifully dewy. That's lovely. It's really lovely on you, Mum. I'm going to take a loose powder to powder my mum's makeup into place. This is a Becca one. It's called Hydra Mist, and it is a setting loose powder, so you can use it for setting or for touch-ups. I'm going to take that on my setting brush. I don't want a brush that's too big because I only want to powder certain areas down. So I'm going to powder the forehead down. It's got a bit too much shine. Down the nose.
That feels quite damp and cold.
Does it? It's just clinging to the makeup to powder that out. Maybe it's giving you like a really nice Hydra mist. If you want to keep that lovely shine in the cheeks. Now, something you would never ever do, Mummy. I'm going to put some false lashes on you. These are Sweed. They are by Linda Helwig, I think. Helwig. They don't say her name on them. Les Blonde. They don't say who they're by, but I bought these from Selfridges. And do you know why I bought them? Because I loved that they were for blonde lashes. If you look there, oh, you can't see, it won't focus. They're all for blondes. So rare you can find lashes for blondes, because people always think that you're gonna put loads of mascara on, but I want to put the mascara on afterwards. And I want it to cling to the lashes like they're very natural.
I feel like I should be on one of those couches laying back.
Yeah.
Now.
I just don't want to go for too dramatic ones because it would just freak you out. I'm going to sit in the top row here where they're slightly less long. So you just dip it in. And just close your eyes and relax. Don't try and close them too tight. 1. But we're just leaving a space for at least a lash in between each one. And I'm just going in and getting out quick, sharp. Not messing around with them in there because it will make our life more difficult. In and out.
So people actually manage to put these on themselves?
It's more difficult to do on yourself, I have to say. I can do it, but it is more difficult. But they look so much nicer. If you're getting married or something and you want them really, really natural, this is a much nicer way to do it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that side. And once I put mascara on, we'll see if we need some more. Do you feel like you've got anything on?
No.
No? Good.
So how does it take for the glue to dry then?
That's had already dry now.
Really? It's quick then?
Yes, super quick. It's just a latex adhesive. Right, just close for me. So I'm just going to go in with another layer of mascara. Do you see what I mean? The fact that they're blonde in there, they don't look quite so full.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They look more natural, which I much prefer.
Yeah.
Had they have been, I know it's a lot for you because you wouldn't wear probably that many, but they actually look super nice. Yeah. I'm going to put a tiny bit more of the liner on as well now. That looks so lovely, Mum. Just look up for me. So now I've put a bit more lashes on, I can see that we can go a tiny bit more on the eyes. I'm not going to go too much more because I don't want to veer away from where my mum feels comfortable. Just look up for me. Your eyes okay?
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit of lip. Where do you feel comfortable on lips, Mum? With this sort of eye, would you go quite natural on the lip?
Yeah.
Okay, well let's put some lip liner on you because the lips is another thing that we really want to emphasise, making the lips look fuller.
Yeah.
As we get older, our lips look thinner, just naturally. So I'm going to take a little bit of I think we'll go for Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury to start off with. This is called Pillow Talk Lip Liner. I'm going to colour your whole lip in with that. I'm going to stick exactly to the lip line. Now, quite often we think our lip line is smaller than it is. Because the top of our lip line can be quite invisible. It doesn't always show, it doesn't always have much pigmentation. So you want to follow the lip line where you almost can't see it as well. So where you see the shape of the lip, that's where your lip line would actually live. So your lips are already fuller than we think they are. We are then going to go in with our trusty pencil that we used on the brows. Uemura brow pencil. Right. It's hard, it's got no warmth to it, so it will make the lips look plumper and fuller. Just put your lips normal for me, don't push them forward, don't do anything. I'm going to go in from the outer corner and I'm just going to really softly apply this around the outside of the lip. The fact that this is a little bit darker and almost like a stone colour will make the lips look fuller. Oh, it's creating really a shadow.
I can see that.
It's creating a shadow that makes those lips look fuller. And again, underneath. So you can see it's already made your lips look so much bigger and plumper and everything. And then all we're going to do is put a little bit of a kind of lip glossy finish through the, not a gloss, like a Vaseline kind of finish through the lips. Let's go for this Trinny one in that's called Cordy, which I brought in for you. I'm going to just use a finger just to push that over the lip. And it will disguise that slightly darker line. Just give you a slightly fuller, pretty pout. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, very pretty. Nice colour.
So there you have the finished makeup on my mum, which I think looks really, really pretty. How do you feel about it?
No, I really like it because it's not overdone.
Yeah, you look lovely.
It looks quite natural, doesn't it?
I hope you've enjoyed it, guys, and I really hope you've learned something. Sorry it's so long, but if you want to learn stuff, then it's got to be a long video, I'm afraid. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.